Yeah, telescope's already fogged up again. I mean, you can still see it all good. As a matter of fact, everybody might like it better, you know, because it takes away the collage. Same thing I'm doing with the light to light. Same thing I'm doing with cropping. So, same thing the heavy filters seem to be doing. The heavier the filter, I noticed the more my views went up on my videos. Granted, maybe nobody's listening to what I'm saying and they're all taking what I'm showing them down the same paths they've been going for thousands of years. And that's frustrating, no doubt. But at least they're looking. Something tells me that they can see it. They can see it better with more filters, more contrast, red over blue over brown. I'm learning to what colors to match that people's eyes will see it. And it turns out that everybody's different, of course, right? Should be no surprise. So everybody's seeing the colors differently. Even if anybody out there is seeing the moon the last week or two that they've been calling this moon right here that I'm on right now, actually, the August moon, and everyone's claiming that it's a blue moon, and I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I'm double checking it as I'm talking crap to everybody about it, saying no, the moon is not fucking blue. And any color that the moon ever is always has to do with where it is in our line of sight. Is it closer to the ground? It'll be red, yellows, oranges, that kind of color to it. And then if it's higher up in our sky, in our view, then I notice that then you'll get the blue, green, white tints to them, right? And and depending on what level and where it is in my sky. If I'm doing this video, as soon as I see the moon, it's in my heavy east. Most of the time, that's going to be the orange, red, and yellow colors, you know, because that's the colors they dump in our atmosphere at that level. You know, they dump the crap out of the jets every fucking day. You know, Mother Nature dumps the shit out of her jets. And the heavy metals and minerals that they dump at each level are going to produce these colors to our eyes. And I would love to talk. I could talk for hours, but every time I do, my videos get shut down or I got to argue with everybody because everybody believes all the crap we were told all our lives. You know, the sky is blue because it's reflecting the water, and 70% of the Earth's surface is water, and we live on a spinning wet rocket ball flying through the vast of outer space. and it's only centripetal force and centrifugal force that prevent the water from flying off the earth, right? Because they're fighting each other, centrifugal and centripetal. They fight each other, and that's what keeps the water on the earth as it's spinning at 1148 miles an hour, whatever the bullshit they are. Yeah, I mean, it's so full of crap, man. You know, watching this moon over the last couple of days too, I've noticed something else that's pretty funny that no one ever pays attention to. All right, so I'm getting the moon in my east around 6 p.m. I could get it even earlier if I wanted to go to a neighbor's house or go up on my roof or something like that, right? I could get it even at 5 p.m. Right. And we all can see it. We don't need a telescope. We can just all look up and see, oh, there's the moon, and identify where it is in our sky at what time of day, right? And then what'll happen is I'm out here doing the videos throughout the night. If it's cloudy, then I have to keep coming out throughout the night and try to get in whatever I can in between clouds. And sometimes it'll turn out to be early in the morning. And then you think about that and you're like, okay, so I'm supposed to be on a spinning wet pararocket ball spinning at, okay, so this thing's 25,000 mile radius, right? That's 25,000 miles circumference. I mean, that's what they tell us we're on. And it's spinning at 1100. I put myself on the map that they tell me I'm on, so I'm to the side of the ball. I'm not at the north. I'm not at the south. I'm in Massachusetts, United States. So therefore, you figure out where you're supposed to be on this ball, and there's no way that I should be seeing that fucking moon for 20 something hours straight, right? Because there are days where you will see that moon in your view early morning, 5, 6 in the morning. You see it all fucking day, and then and it's just, you know, right? So you see it in the morning, the sun's coming up early, and the moon's like an hour or two behind the fucking sun, right? Then the sun gets ahead of the moon, pretty good distance, and then but a long time goes by, and that moon is only in my um, 12 o'clock position in the sky, right? Sun's going down, right? Sun's going, so the light on the moon doesn't even make sense, right? That's one thing we could also put to shame easy, because when the top of the moon is lit and the sun is in your setting position, right? It's way down below your horizon, and the top of the moon is lit, and the moon is in your 12 o'clock position, right? It makes no fucking sense. I've been complaining about that for years, and nobody will ever look. They got bullshit reasons for it. They tell you that the light is from the sun is bouncing off the ozone layer, the atmosphere, the upper atmosphere. They tell you, and what I would call the veil, what they would call the Van Allen belts. With that it's the light's bouncing off there now, because that's a big mirror too. Like the moon is a big mirror. It's so stupid, and we all go along with it. But anyways, so yesterday it was into this morning. So yesterday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I see it in my east, which means I think it was about 5 or 6 or something, right? Something like that. But either way, I know I could have went when I can see it. I know I can go to a higher position somewhere right here around me, and I can get my eyes on it, right? So even if it was 6 or 7 when I got my eyes on it, still I should not be seeing it in my west the following day at 10, 11 o'clock, and still 2 to 3 hours away from being out of my view, maybe even longer, because again, I can go up on the roof and I can follow that moon until 1, 2 o'clock. I can still keep an eye on it up until 1, 2 o'clock. You know what that means, right? You understand what that means? And that I don't have to be the only one to notice this. There are 7.8 billion zombie slaves on this earth with me. Any one of you can go and look and see these things. They're not anomalies or whatever you call it. They're not. No, it just means that we were lied to about everything, and then we can easily see that we were lied to about everything. Because if you're spinning at 1148 miles an hour and you got 24 hours in a day and all that kind of crap, and you put that together and you put it together with what they tell us the moon is doing. Another thing too about the moon, only seeing the front of the moon, I would love to talk about that and explain that so that people can understand that, because everyone's got it in their mind that the moon is a big ball. And then if they come along with other ideas, they're only repeating bullshit stories that they heard, which are just as bad as the moon is a ball. They're just as bad, which, some of them are the moon is a hologram, right? Or we're living in a hologram and the moon is just another hologram. All these things are lies, and they're provably lies. We don't have to go along with all the bullshit stories we heard all these years. What we can do is just start looking. If you start looking at what I'm showing you, then the words coming out of anybody's mouth anymore will not mean anything to you anymore. You won't care, because let the picture tell 1,000 words. The picture don't lie. It's us that lie. It's our minds that lie. So don't twist the true information. Don't twist reality with all your human falsities that you grew up on. As you're seeing what it is I'm showing you, continue to look. You will know more than I do very quickly, because your interests are going to be different than mine. We're all going to have different interests in all this new reality that's been around forever that we've all been ignoring, right? So everyone's going to have their own priority interests, and getting all the answers to the questions we're all going to have, right? So that's what I mean about that. Because there's so many millions of things that I would like to know, but they're not top priority. There are other things that I just follow what I'm being shown, and for me, it's visuals. Other people, it's going to be sound. Other people, it's going to be vibration resonances. It's going to be smell and odors. Everyone's going to see this with their eyes, but there's going to be some people that it's going to stand out. Kind of the same thing I'm saying about the contrast. I got to wipe the lens again. I got extra tissue. Um, it's kind of like what I'm saying about the contrast. Same thing. Because one person sees it more clear with a blue filter, then somebody else sees it more clear with a brown filter, and then somebody else sees it better with a purple filter. Because I noticed the purple filter, which is just a combination of brown and blue, I believe it is, or red and blue, I believe, gives me that purple. And it seems like I get a lot of views on those, and a lot of thumbs up and likes whenever it's a purple video. So I don't know, people out there like it. Um, More than others, more than others. So that's what I'm trying to say. We're all going to see this all differently as well. Um, all I'm doing is just giving you a little bit of a head start. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. I just happened to notice the pattern that it was always faces. It was always faces of feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, no matter where I looked. I noticed this pattern. I could go to the ocean and extract the imagery from there, and it's still feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. I check the moon, feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. I look into all the trees all over the earth, rocks, stones, caves, feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, over and over again. Same triangular builders building everything in this realm. Same triangular builders, all triangular shape, all colors, shadows, shades, sizes, triangular builders. So I'm able to give you, a little bit of a. I'm gonna clean the lens before I move before I move the camera. Oh yeah, very wet. This is a pain in the ass. It used to be more of a pain in the ass, but now I don't care anymore. So it doesn't bother me so much to have all these problems. I was pissed yesterday because the video got deleted on me. A 1.5 hour moon video that I was talking a lot in. I was talking about everything from Mpox to Lion Mama Kona 19. I was ranking out the medical industry, um, all while at the same time explaining things to Dean, who I'm still working on this series with. And I was explaining things to him as I'm going along about the moon. And the fucking video got deleted. So I was pissed. But I think back when that happens now, I don't get nearly as pissed as I used to. I used to get very angry getting shut down and shut out, and all the time by everybody. Everybody, because it's everybody. It's family, friends, uh, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. It doesn't matter where you go. It's always the same fucking thing. You would think that on these places where you're connecting with people on the other side of the earth, that by now somebody out there would be fucking on top of this. Somebody of importance, not me. Somebody that has millions of subscribers, millions of views. Somebody that shows their titties, then they get millions of views. Or in the case of a male, somebody that has a lot of money. Why don't all the people that I called out? Richard Vobes, I called out people from the UK, called out people from Scotland, all over the earth, China, Japan, every culture, every race, every color. I called them all out. Politicians, medical industry, newscasters, auditors, you fucking name it, man. I have called out everybody I can think of. At least some people from every, I don't know, Freemasons, the church, called out religious folks, moon people, people that were big into the moon, people that were in the rocks and stones, cave dwellers. I called cave dwellers out. That was Brother Sanchez in New Earth. Yeah, New Earth channel. I called out Santos Bonacci was another big one. I keep mentioning him lately. And then there was another good one too, another physicist that was on my list, and I liked him a lot too. That was a long series. That was a 200 and something part series. Forget his name now though. I'm missing his name. Calls out everybody, man, and it's all over now. I've been warning everybody for the last 8 years, but nobody fucking listens. I'm telling everybody all this shit was gonna happen. They're gonna break up the country. The money's gonna go away. Blah, 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 blah. It's not fucking. It's not an unknown thing. We all know. It's our ability to lie to ourselves and each other that makes it like a big fucking surprise. All the hoaxes. We get hoaxed every fucking day in the news, different hoax, no matter what it is. Wars. Our kids are getting drafted now because the draft is back under Obama. Um, Even women are going to get drafted because that was his big contribution, one of them, along with killing millions of Iraqis that are now moving here. They all hate us because we blew them up over the last 30, 40 years. Afghanistan, Libya, Iraq, you fucking name it. Everybody hates us. And then they bring us the final trumpet from the Bible. They bring us the final trumpet from the Bible, let us know that now this country is going to be broken up, and the politicians, it's going to be they call it a new world order, but it's not. And it's all gimmick and a play on words because the new world order, look at the wording of it, it's not new. It's thousands of years old. It's the same game book over and over and over again, same playbook, however you say it. And then they call it a new world order, but it's not a world. It's not the spinning wet pair rocket ball that they tell you it is. It's not the geocentric model they told you it was. Those things would be worlds. It's not a world at all. Um, Lied about it all. And then order, new world order. It's not an order. It's all about chaos. It's order out of chaos. So the whole term new world order that we're all going along with, and then pretending that we don't even believe it's happening. Oh no, that new world order shit, that's conspiracy crap. No, 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 man. It's double fuck. It's a double fuck. You know damn well that they're doing it. We can see them doing it every day. It's something new. Now they got Triple E is now out. We had Lyme disease years ago. We had the AIDS virus. We had all these different things over the years that we could have easily seen. How I can't even talk about it because then the videos will get deleted. So I'll just say that. I'll just name the names, and I mean it's unbelievable. Constitution. Every country has a constitution. Most of them do. The problem is the constitutions were set up so that they could be taken away because that was, I mean, think about it. When they came up with the constitution, it's saying that we're going to protect your human rights. So why did you need to protect my human rights? Oh, from us. What do you mean from us? Yeah, I mean, it was all a fucking game, man. The whole thing was a fucking game. And we, the 7.8 billion zombie slaves, we all knew it was just a game. We knew. I mean, how fucking dumb were we? You know, growing up, as we were growing up and going to school, we heard people that were older generations saying, why don't they teach us your constitutional rights in school? Why is it that when our children are all going to fucking jail and prison for non-violent crimes, no victim? There's no victim? Nope, the state's the victim. The state's the victim every time. If you went into the store during the Lion Mama Kona 19 lockdowns and you were not wearing a mask, they'd come in and they could arrest you. I seen at one store a dude, and everybody was happy about it. A dude walked down the aisle against the arrows because we were all stupid enough to go along with all that crap, and made no fucking sense. You know, the masks, we knew were not going to do anything to stop it. We knew better than to start putting people that were having lung problems on a respirator for any more than a couple minutes at a time. Otherwise, their lungs were going to not work anymore. Duh. We knew that since North Korea. Since the North Korean War, we knew that. We figured it out supposedly at that time to sit the patients up in their beds so they didn't get pneumonia, because if they were laying down they would get pneumonia. We learned all kinds of things back then about that, and one of them was that oh gee, hey, these respirators, they're great and they work great during surgery and everything like that, when you got to put the person under so they don't stop breathing. And but the only thing is, don't put them on there for like any more than a couple minutes at a time, because then their lungs will stop working. They'll depend on the machine to, muscle memory in the lungs and blah blah blah. And the funny thing about all that, those are all lies too, because they told us that we think that the lungs are are um, are pumping, right? And we think of everything as bio, and it's pumping air and all this kind of thing, inhaling air and exhaling air. But it's really the electricity. It's all about the electrical. We are really electrical creatures. It's the electrons inside the oxygen that's inside the lungs, that kind of thing. And same thing with the heart. They tell us the heart is a pump and it pumps blood, but yet when somebody's heart stops working, they don't put a pump in you. They don't put a pump on your chest to pump your blood. No, they put a pacemaker in there. It's an electrical device. It's sending electromagnetic pulse waves to keep your heart beating. So, but we all know this. We all know these things, but we all just pretend that we don't. It's fucked up, man. It's really fucked up. And there are so many lies to argue about that it's not even worth it anymore. That's why I have my catchphrase of anybody coming to my videos, be ready, be ready, because you're going to have to face reality or you run away. A lot of people run away too. But you have to face reality. And everything that you've ever heard, learned, thought, taught, programmed has been a lie. And just go with that and then start looking and see reality for yourself from there. But if you don't come to that realization and you're not going to be willing to be honest with yourselves, we're all fucking done. Not as a nation, as a species, because they're tearing it all down. And they've been. It's like a slow grind. It's been such a slow grind. Even as they've been tearing apart our country for the last, 100 years since they started it, it's been being torn down purposely because we're going back to yellow. We're going from white to yellow. We've been through all the colors. If you think about it, if you go all the way back to the Aztecs, you got brown, red. Um, then you can go back to, um, so we went from brown, and again, this is going by false history. Don't get me wrong. I know everything we learned from school is all false too. So, but if you take even half of what they say and you add it up and you look at all the colors, so Aztecs, then we went Asian because we had all the Asian islands, the Philippines, Taiwan, China, um, Japan, all the way down and around. That they were in charge at one time. Um, I just don't even like using their terminology, but the leading world power. So the leading world power, we watched it change hands a lot of times. And then the Peruvians were the leading world power for a long time. Then we had the Greeks are not exactly white. They're yellowish white, I guess, or something. When you really look at it, when you really look at the color, maybe beige white, not peach white like we are. From Russians are white, um, and they also had a minor. I wouldn't say a leading world power, but one of the leading world powers. Um, Usually, when they're murdering people by the millions, kind of like United States has been doing for a long time. And the United States is not was not the ones in charge anyway. It was the UK. The UK was all that British war and the freedom of Americans and to go on their own. It was all nonsense. Obviously, never really happened. All right, there's my 30 minutes. So, all right, I'll be back. That's 30 minutes already. I don't even think I'll get one more turn out of it even.